Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo, back from the beach with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode 74, presented tonight by our friends at Game Toppers LLC. Upgrade your gaming experience with Game Toppers LLC. Gumbo Live is the #1 Facebook Live talk show dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, it's going to be Dr. Steve Finn. He's coming back from Dr. Finn's Games. We're going to be talking about Cosmic Run, Mining Colony, maybe some Kickstarter stuff that we were talking about before the show started. Board Game Gumbo is a proud member of Punchboard Media. Check out our other fine members like the Cardboard Horde. Hey, it's a blog written by Eric Bashimi. Doc, that's a native New Yorker. You might know him. He muses about the ability of bits of cardboard, because everybody in New York knows each other, as far as I know, to transform your tabletop into near infinite number of unique gaming experiences. Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Hit us up on social media tonight at Board Game Gumbo, or on Twitter, at Twitter at Board Game Gumbo, or on Facebook, facebook.com/Board Game Gumbo, and we'll be looking for your questions in the chat. But enough blather. Let's get right to our special guest, Dr. Steve Finn. Welcome back to the show, Doc.
Hey, BJ. Well, thanks for having me.
Welcome to your show. It's the Dr. Steve Finn's world.
Welcome.
And we're all living in it.
My computer just unplugged. I was trying to figure it out. I got it.
All good.
All's good.
It's a live show, man. We're just gonna roll with it. We'll fix this in post. I'll get Steve, the name father, to fix all this in editing. So, hey, Doc, tell us, for those people, I don't know who they are or why they're watching the show, but just in case, for those people who haven't met you before, tell us about who is Dr. Steve Finn and what is Dr. Finn's Games?
Well, I'm a father, an ultimate frisbee player, a philosopher, among other things, and I am the owner of Dr. Finn's Games, and that has been in existence now for over 10 years. A long time ago, my first game, which is now published by Yellow, it's called Biblios. That was the game that kind of got my name out there, and I've been self-publishing. I even self-published a few games before Kickstarter. But since I discovered Kickstarter, I've been now using Kickstarter as a main way to raise the funds to, make and publish my own games. I also work occasionally with Pencil First Games. So I have Herbaceous Sprout, Sunset Over Water with them, as well as we're going to have a new game coming out on Kickstarter pretty soon with them as well.
Speaking of Biblios, when you came on last time, I had not yet played it. I've gotten a chance to play it.
Oh, good. I hope you like it.
2 thumbs up. I liked it.
All right, good.
I really enjoyed it. In fact, it's one of those games that comes out about once a month at Gumbo Game Night. One of the guys that runs the Southern Board Game Fest is a huge fan of that game and a lot of your other games. He has Herbaceous, a bunch of other games like that. So he usually talks people into trying out Biblios, and I finally got a chance to try it. Really enjoyed it. So kudos to you on that one. Hey, talking about Kickstarter, I read an interesting message that you posted. I want to call it almost Kickstarter 2.0. The real reasons behind what's going on with Kickstarter, and it made big news last week. So it's kind of awesome having you here on to get your commentary on it. But are you having a change in your philosophy? What's the new Finn philosophy when it comes to Kickstarter?
Well, it's a new Finn philosophy. I don't know if it's new, apparently, to other people, because of course, as soon as I posted something out there, someone corrected me and said, "Oh, this isn't new at all. Other people are getting fed up with Kickstarter." But for me, it's new, and it's almost kind of old as well. Because when I first started, I was never a big fan of stretch goals, of adding in stuff, and but then people got upset at me for having no way to give back to the backers. My original idea was that Kickstarter, or my original understanding was that Kickstarter was to help entrepreneurs with creating a game or any other kind of thing, and that the backers were going to be rewarded in some way. Not like a PBS funding where you pay $50 for a pencil, but
right.
The idea would be something that commit something special, right? But I feel like I can't compete with the Kickstarter out there. It's also I might also come across as a little bit, I don't know, not shaken. What's the word? Disappointed or angry, or I can't find the right word right now, but it's disaffected. That's what it might be. Because I've worked hard. I've had a lot of Kickstarters. I've never had any that have really just taken off. And I keep trying new things. And people, I love my backers. They're very kind. I got a lot of good fans that are always there, insta backing me. And I have a lot of people giving me advice. Try a BGG contest. Have you tried Facebook advertising? Have you tried duty-free shipping? Have you tried, advertising on Twitter? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And other than introduce minis, create, like really big, heavy components, like a big game with all lots of intricate things, which isn't what I do. So that's the one thing I haven't tried. But I also feel like I don't have the resources to compete with companies that are now using it. We were before when we were talking about Queen Games. I can't compete with Queen Games. When they put up a Kickstarter, and the page looks great, the game looks great in the design and everything. I hire great artists, I hire great graphic designers, but still, even with the amount of money that I put in, I still can't put in even more to do all the kind of marketing things. And I'm not a marketer. I don't have any of those skills. And that's wasn't a big deal to me because in the past I'd still be able to go on Kickstarter and make it. I'd still be able to get all my funds that I need. But now I feel like I'm just being drowned out. And it's partly my fault because I'm not doing what is expected. I don't want to have Kickstarter. I also think it's kind of false. So today I was looking at a game. I'm not even going to say what it is, but they have one of the levels goes from having clear crystals to colored blue crystals, and it's like a $5,000 stretch goal.
Clearly $5,000, right?
No, it's nothing. Or like here's a card. I've done this. After 2,000, you get an extra card. After 5,000, you get another card.
Right.
It doesn't cost that. It's totally absurd. And it's a psychological game. Some people play it. They play it well. I can't play it anymore. I've tried it. I can't do it. And I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower my funding goals in the future for the absolute minimum that I need to make the game. And I'm now working with a consolidator to sell my game through distribution channels. And I'm feeling pretty confident I'll be able to do that. I'll make very little money, if anything, because the consolidator, is the people who sell it to the distributors. So retail, the way, for people out there who don't understand this, a retailer gets the game for 50% of the selling price.
Right.
The distributor who sells it to the retailer gets it for 40%. And then this other consolidator gets it for 32%. So take a $30 game, that means, or a $25 game, that means I'm selling it for $8.
Right.
If I buy it in China, I make a couple thousand of them, it's going to cost me $3 to $4 in the game. And then like $3 or $4 to get each one over to the, here, pay the taxes, the duties, etc. So by the time it's all done, I might be making $1 on a game, if that. Then there's damaged copies, there's people lost in the mail, there's international shipping, and I don't even know how to crack the international shipping. But nevertheless, I'm gonna forge ahead, and I don't actually know what I'm gonna do, but I'm done spending a lot of effort, mental energy, trying to figure out stretch goals and use that as some means to like say, hey, this is great.
Bradley says a lot of consumers are feeling the same way. We're getting exhausted with all these campaigns that just nickel and dime you as, look, I get it. For the big campaigns with all of the minis and all of the different things, it's clear. If Gray Fox Games wants to do Tsukiyumi and they want a whole nother faction of minis with another 40 minis, that's going to cost money, right?
Yeah. But see,
an extra card here and there, come on.
Right, but if there's another faction and if it's asymmetrical powers, was it already made?
Right.
Is it already part of the game? So that's what I want to say is I make my games, I play test them, some of my earlier games, I probably could have play tested more. I made some mistakes, but I continue to get better. I mean, I've made whatever it is. I've had like 15 to 20 games now. I've actually lost count of how many published games I have. And I've learned through a lot of mistakes how to make a good game. And sure, I might not be the best marketer. I might not always have, I think I hire some of the best artists, and I have good graphic designers. And I get people out there saying, but your game doesn't stand out and this and that. I'm like, no, it doesn't stand out in that way. But if anybody who plays my games almost always says that is a good game. It's mechanically sound. The art's nice. It works. That's all I want. I'm not trying to make, the best game there's ever been. I'm not trying to create a game that's unique in some grand way. When I play games, like, I love, for example, we've talked about this before, but Reiner Knizia is one of my favorite game designers.
Right.
When I play any number of his games, I don't say to myself, this is the best game that's ever been made. I say, once again, he's made a really good game. I just played Blue Lagoon, right? Is it earth-shattering? Is it amazing? No, but it's a damn good game. It's fun. It's nice. He doesn't control the art, but the art was good. He knows how to make good, interesting games. And like him, that's what I'm trying to do, is make good games. I know that they're not going to be, I don't make 2-hour, 3-hour games. I make these games that you're going to pick up, finish in 20 to 30 minutes.
You're the king of the filler.
You're through the whole game, though, you're engaged, you're making interesting decisions. There's problems, in some of my games, there's some luck. In other games, not as much luck. And usually wrapped up in a decent looking package, So as you can tell, I'm not saying I make the best things ever, but that's not what I'm trying to do.
No, but but I like the philosophy. You're going back to basics. You're going to give your backers what they really want, a sound game that looks good. Maybe doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's not going to have minis or any of those other things. But now you know exactly what you have to do to get that done. Now, I will tell you, speaking of games that don't exactly look as good as some of the games that you put out, but are probably mechanically sound. I saw that
you get the picture. Great, because I was looking for that because I wanted to show you that.
Okay. BJ, before you can come up, I've got my guest, Dr. Steve Finn from Dr. Finn's Games.
Fantastic. I'm so happy you found that.
We're having a chuckle because we always do spicy games here, and a spicy game. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know anything about Jungle Speed. What is this game, and why does it have cats in it?
All right. Well, this game, Jungle Speed, is it's a fun. It's a little bit like it's not a party game, so to speak, but I don't have it right here with me. I wanted to show you. There's a little yellow plastic totem in that box, right? And you'll see here with these cards, there's patterns and there's colors.
Okay.
Now, none of these, you can't really see these patterns look anything alike, but some of the patterns are very similar. And what happens is everyone's flipping a card one at a time, going in order. And when two cards have an identical image, the two people that have those cards showing reach to grab the plastic totem in the middle.
Oh, okay. That's
all it is. Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And there's some special cards that say, like, when this is flipped, everyone goes to get the totem. There's another one that changes it from, instead of the pattern, to the colors. So what my kids did, because my older son wanted to play Jungle Speed, my younger son doesn't like it. My older son said, "How about if I made it about kittens?" Because my other younger son really likes cats. So I taught my older son, who's 12, how to use Photoshop. And he went online and he got all these pictures of these cats. So you could see here, he's got these really cute pictures of cats. And then he used a tinting in the Photoshop to make them the different colors. So he just took one picture, like here, it's a tint of green, the one on below. There's a little green dot too. He did a little green dot. So if the color came in, you'd be able to tell. But so people are flipping the kittens. And when you get two of the same picture, you grab the totem. And he picked really funny, like really cute, awesome little pictures of kittens. Like this
See,
one
now,
here.
if
This
you
one's here is stuck in the pillows of a couch. The other one's like wrapped in a burrito, and it's a much better game. I like Jungle Speed, but playing with this, it's hilarious. It's so much fun.
Now, if Kickstarter was doing Jungle Speed, Kevin's right. He's a man of class and taste. His totem is. You would have an extra large, totem that would have all kinds of fancy things on it. Maybe even multiple different pictures of different types of totems, and that's how you get it out. So, speaking of that Kickstarter, Bradley said something. One of his pet peeves with Kickstarter is that some games don't need minis, but they shoehorn them in. Yeah. He appreciates that that's not what you're all about. You're about finding the mechanism, like in Jungle Speed, that makes a game fun without all these superfluous frills.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the desire, like, for instance, Kevin. When I understand certain desires, like, I work with Pencil First Games a lot, and Ed is very good at finding ways to incorporate art and nice touches. So when we did Sunset Over Water together, the meeples, the theme is that you're going around the wilderness, painting landscapes. And
it's a beautiful game.
And the little meeples are very nice. Like, it's a nice little touch. But to me, that was enough. It's like 2 or 3 different shapes. That's good. That's a great touch. But he didn't need to, like, go out and do anything more than that. Like, for instance, have them painted with pictures of people's faces or whatever. I don't even know what the next level would be.
Is Bradley right, though? Is this a game that I could actually win?
I've never played games with you.
I don't know if
I don't know. You have to be quick.
Yeah, you need.
Do you know any of those play? Do you ever play any of those quick recognition games? You have Match of the Penguins, for example.
Yeah, I did the one that they had that came out. The one with the polar bears. It came out last year. Pick a polar pick.
Pick a polar bear. Yeah.
And you had to look at it. It sounds exactly like Jungle Speed.
Pick a dog.
No, I mean, the game that I played was exactly like Jungle Speed. It was all, what? I bet it was Jungle Speed with just polar bears instead of, I bet it's one of these companies where they just license it with a bunch of different designs.
There is a series called Pick a something. Like, there's a Pick a Dog game.
No, this was definitely polar bears.
Oh, I know, but what I'm saying is the people who did Pick a Dog might have done Pick a polar bear.
Maybe so. Yeah, that's what you had to do.
Because it's similar kind of thing.
You had to pick, basically you had to look at all these different patterns and be the first one to
that's pick it. Pick a dog. That's the Pick a Dog people.
Ravenloft has Wanted, very similar. I don't know that one, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
I don't know that one, Joe.
There's Joe. Hey, Joe. Joe's a frequent backer of mine.
Oh, nice, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing it. Kevin says there's a bunch of different versions: Beach, Rabbids, Ubisoft, and Animal Theme. So that's got to be, because when you were describing the game, I'm like, I played this game, just not under that name.
Right.
And that is Kitty Speed with Jungle Speed with cats, designed by Dr. Finn's Kids. Very, very nice.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Okay, now I do have a beef. I realize that art is and I'm not picking on you. You've said that art is not the thing that you worry about the most when it comes to games.
In the past.
In the past.
And it's still true.
BJ Morgan, I've got my guest here, Dr. Steve Finn.
Oh, boy.
This game is a game that I have not played yet, but...
You were going to ask me, right, what 3 games I played recently that I love. It's this one.
Carpe
Diem. The art.
The
art and graphic design. The graphic design of this is terrible. And the idea, like, that Ravensburger, which is a huge company, can let stuff like this go through is just shocking to me.
Well, let me give you the second part to the story.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. Stop me if you already know this. They actually released it. They had the demo copies at BGG, but they weren't selling it at BGG Con. And I'm looking at this game and I'm going, I can't believe a designer that I really respect. I mean, I like a lot of his games.
Yeah.
We're talking about Stefan Feld. I like a lot of his games. And I'm looking at this game, and I couldn't get past the complete wash of browns and yellows and just. And then I'm trying to figure out all the pieces, and I'm looking at this game, and it was a great demonstration by the Ravensburger guy. But I just looked at it and said, this is a hard pass. I've already got Castles of Burgundy in our game group. I can play that one. I can play Aquatopia. I'd rather play any one of these other games than Aquasphere than play this mess. my understanding is that Ravensburg actually pulled the graphic design and they're reissuing the game with a brand new design, new colors, new color scheme, the whole thing.
I'm not bothered by the colors so much as there's certain graphic design elements that make it incredibly confusing when you play the game, that just make no sense because they're just too similar. They actually have the back, right? So just as one example, I don't know how familiar you are with this game. You haven't played it.
No, I've not. Well, I got the demo just for the first.
See all these square tiles here?
Yeah.
There's a set that's put aside, right?
Okay.
So that when the game runs out of tiles, you know how like in Zularetto, you put aside some tiles?
Sure.
Well, with Zularetto, they're random. But these you put aside and they're particular ones. But the back side is not, they're darker. They're supposed to be darker. But when you look at these two things together, I mean, you have to basically be like in the perfect light, you can see the difference. But there's no reason. There's no game reason for one of them not to be just clearly different than the others. So it's like almost two identical things. So at the end of the game, you're like trying to find these pieces in the sea of green stuff among all the brown things. But this game I love this game.
Okay, so I need to play it then.
Yeah, you know, this is I think this is a fantastic game. This is one of his best games that I've played in a long time.
Verla and Sean have been picking on me on social media because I keep dogging the design, the graphic design and the color scheme, and they keep telling me I need to play it. By the way, Bradley and Sean picked up the game. It's Pick a Polar Bear is the name of the game. So, but it's not Pick a Panda Bear. It's Pick a Polar Bear. So
there's probably a Pick a Panda Bear too, because
if not, there will be. Kevin Konovich is going to design it and publish it, self-publish it pretty quickly. So Kevin says the best Feld involving carp. Okay. That's a good. No, my number one is still Aquasphere. So, and that's because I just love the little octomeeples. I just love those octomeeples. So
yeah, but is the game, you know, that like talk about the theme. That is the most bizarre, weird theme I've ever had. But I don't care. I still like it too. Huh?
When you're playing it, don't you feel like a research scientist battling octopus?
Yeah. I do.
No, I don't. Really, the entire game is two things. It's that weird little, which is fun, the weird little research track, and the fact that you can't score any points until you get past those points.
Right.
I think Feld had those two awesome ideas, and he said, "All right, what do we throw around that?"
Right.
Because everything else is really just superfluous. It's just the filler part of the game. Those two were his. Wow, this is two cool ideas. I need to make a game out of it. So no, but if you're a gamer like me that likes a little bit of theme, if you're going to play a Euro, that one at least pretends to have a theme. Carpe Diem, I'm not sure there was. Forum Trajanum, Bradley and I actually had to play it last month, and I liked it. I thought it was
I haven't played it. I have not played it. Yeah.
Solid Feld.
Right. No, there's no theme here. I rarely play a game that I feel like I'm ever immersed in the theme. Look, that's just not the way that I play.
There's an element of gamers. Kirk and I are brothers from another mother. Carpe Diem is fantastic, but I won't even consider buying it. I mean, at this point, here, Doc, you've upgraded your art. You've talked about it on social media and blogs. There is a certain element of gamers like me that say we want mechanics and art to be a good match. It doesn't have to be gold coins. It doesn't have to be minis, but good mechanically sound and also look good on the table.
Yeah, see,
that's not too much to ask.
I do not think that's a problem. I think that's completely reasonable. And I think that's what I deliver. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sure, some of my games, I think early games, my Scripts and Scribes dice game where I paid a graduate student in England $250 to do it. Yes.
We're getting the true stories here. It's like real confessions.
That was my first game that I published. No, that was that first or second. Gun Runners was early, but I had a good artist there. So
you've been working with Beth Sobel a lot, and she does quality stuff. So
yeah. Well, Dr. Finn's Games only worked with Beth on Waters of Nereus.
Right.
Now there's a game where I said, "Oh, this is going to look beautiful on the table. I've got the custom ships. I got these nice shiny translucent gems." I didn't say they're going to be opaque gems, and at 35,000, we're going to have crystal gems. You know, I could have done that. I didn't say, oh, these are going to be square, and then they're going to become boats. I made them boats. I put in the artwork. I gave, you know, it was 2 millimeter thick, all the components right up at the front, you know. So
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you know of a Kickstarter that hits that big number? And by the way, the numbers you do for your Kickstarter, I think, are more than Alien Frontiers did when Alien Frontiers was the first successful Kickstarter on tabletop. And they were blown away. Oh my God, we've made so much money on this thing. Thank you to all the backers. So don't forget, you're doing fine. But the question is there a filler game on Kickstarter that busts that 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 mark? I don't know of any that get that high for filler games.
I do not know of any either. I mean, what's interesting is what did Herbaceous do? Well, Herbaceous Sprouts, you know, because Pencil First Games, I think, you know, Edo did a pretty good job there. I'm going to look it up right now while I'm talking to you.
Well, you talk, I'll look it up.
Okay, you can look it up. But, you know, Herbaceous Sprouts is a filler game, I would say. And there's 14, you know, he had 1,400 backers. You could look it up for me and tell me what the price is, the amount. I think it was like around 70 or 80.
Looking for it.
And Herbaceous was also much better. Those are filler games.
One. I can only find the Herbaceous one.
Yeah, Herbaceous Sprouts.
I don't know why I'm not finding it. So Herbaceous did 60,000?
80,000.
Yeah, and Herbaceous did 60 with 2,200.
Right, okay. Right. So, I mean, with Sprouts getting up into the 80,000, I think that's pretty good. But I rarely see, I mean, does something like Exploding Kittens count as a filler game?
Well, I think those games, look, those games are a unique thing. Anything,
right. So
anything,
I mean,
pop culture, like with the oatmeal or something.
Take out those and then just say, are there Euro filler games? Anything else like mine?
What if you hired the oatmeal to do one of your art for your games? Then you could do millions. But I mean, is that really what you want to do? Do an oatmeal card game? I mean, look, my daughter loves Exploding Kittens, but I watch them play, and it's a game. You know, it's there.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
That's not what I do. I stay true. I stay true to myself all the way through. But art is important. I don't want to say it's not important. I don't know. I think Kickstarter attracts people who want a different kind of game than what I sell and what I make.
Well, speaking of Kickstarter, let's talk about your game. BJ from Board Game Gumbo. Yeah. I've got my guest here, Dr. Steve Finn. I was trying to pull up the pictures I had for Cosmic Run, and we are talking about Cosmic Run Mining Colony. So I watched the Ant Lab full playthrough.
Yeah.
They did a great job explaining the rules to the game and going through everything that's going, along with the project. But what surprised me, because I didn't know a lot about the game before I saw the playthrough, is that it's 2 players. So Tell me, what was the impetus? I don't know if I'll skip to the end. When they got to the end, they said, by the way, this is Cosmic Run. It's 2 players, but it's a different game. Right. So tell us about Cosmic Run Mining Colony.
Well, let me start by telling about Cosmic Run a little bit more. The series, because this is a third it's almost like the fourth. The original game is for 1 to 4 players, dice chucking, racing up these different tracks. You got your spaceships and there's meteors hitting the planets and you're trying to get there. The second one was a 1 to 2 player roll and write. So instead of 5 tracks, you were moving up 3 tracks and, filling in the circles. And there were some technologies that helped you along your way. And then I made a new version of the original Cosmic Run, which is called Cosmic Run Regeneration, where I totally upgraded it. I got better graphic design. I now have a big board. There's another planet. There's all these extra aliens. And I changed some of the rules to make it much tighter. And I think I did a really good job at doing that. I was very happy with that's the game where I said, I took my original, changed it, and I said, wow, I really nailed it this time, because what had passed, like 3 years had passed, and I had learned some things. So Ant Lab, talking about now Mining Colony, The other games were, so it follows because it's thematic. It doesn't follow because of mechanically in any way. So you were racing to get to a planet, and this is one you've now made it to a planet, and now you're trying to establish a mining colony. Because of the mechanics of the game and the way that I wanted to make it work, it ended up just feeling better to be a 2-player game. Well, it's a 1 or 2-player game. And the solo version, I'm very happy with as well.
Oh, I didn't know there's a solo version.
There's a solo version. Yeah. But they did, Anthony and Francis pointed out in their review that it's strange that I kept it as Cosmic Run because it has no mechanical similarities. And in retrospect, I'm wondering if that's was a good or a bad decision. In one way, I built up a name with Cosmic Run. It was getting really good reviews. So for example, Tom Vassell, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago did a review of it. Super positive, got the Dice Tower, whatever, seal of approval, whatever, So he liked it a lot, and all the reviews of it were really strong, and it seems like it's getting a lot of
don't second guess yourself.
It's
just the next stop in Cosmic Run. I don't think people are going to say, oh, it's not 4 players and doesn't have push your luck,
right?
From like you had in Cosmic Run.
No, but what I was saying is mechanically it's different. So what I was trying to do is just because of the success of the other ones, I wanted to kind of feed off that.
Sure.
And I like the idea, now we're at the planet. The other games are much more luck based. There's luck here insofar as you're blind bidding. So if you call that luck, where you're like, oh, I wonder what that person's going to play, and you're thinking about it, are they going to go this or that? But I don't really count that as luck. So there's a lot of interesting decisions that you make. So the basic idea of this game is you've made it to a planet. The planet has life-sustaining resources, but you have to go get energy crystals from a nearby, kind of lifeless planet. So you have to set up a mining colony there. And you could see it's like Mars, it's a lot of reddish colors.
Sure.
And you go, and there's 4 zones in the middle. They get filled with resources. That's a good picture right there. And you'll have these bidding cards or excavation cards, and you fight for your choice of the zones, of the resources in the zones. And the resources have tiles that allow you to expand your mining colony board. And then the tiles have various types of structures on them. One is a dome, which holds your colonists. Another is a landing pad, which holds your ships. And another is like a storage facility, which holds crystals. And so there's a little bit of a Tetris patchwork-like feeling here. You're getting stuff. You have to put it on the board according to certain kind of restrictive rules. And the way that you place the materials on the board might help you trigger getting bonuses. So, for example, if you could put a ship and a colonist of the same color exactly one space apart, you get to build an outpost.
Okay.
And the outpost gives you, an extra chance to win in that category. But it's a very quick game. You could play it in, 20 minutes. Once you know what you're doing, you could probably play it in 15 minutes. But despite how quick it is, like all of my games, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to think about. And if if you're subject to AP, you can make this game last a half an hour. But most of the time, even when you make a decision that you get, like, for instance, you're trying to get something, even when you don't get what you want, you're still getting something.
Okay.
And there's a lot of simultaneous play in it. So it keeps moving. So I like simultaneous play. I like things that move along. I really hate, the experience for me is when I went to a game convention last time, I played this game. There was 5 of us, and it's that pepper game. What's that pepper? Scoville?
Scoville. Yeah.
Sure. Really good game. But the way that it snakes and then it comes back.
Right.
Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So if you go first, and it goes all the way around the 5th player, then it comes all the way back to you.
But you can go get a sandwich. You can go get a po' boy.
Sandwich. I know.
You can get some fried pickles. I mean, you got plenty of time to do all that.
I mean, if I'm playing with my friends, we all like boom, 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 boom. But when I play with people who are just slow, it's just, oh my God, drives me nuts. I mean, they're all good people. Don't get me wrong. I like everyone I'm playing with, but it's just, I'm not patient. That's my problem. I have a flaw. I'm an impatient person. So I design games.
You design games for you.
For me to play. The funny thing is I never play them after I play test them. I play my games ton and then never ever, like, I just got Waters of Nerea, like a month ago, the first copy. I played it at a convention because other people wanted to play it, but I never play my own games.
Bill Lassick checking in. He's the designer of Koi. I guess maybe. Well, you guys are from New York, so everybody knows each other. I always forget about that.
Yeah,
it's a very small town.
I don't know Bill, or maybe I do know Bill.
Bill designed Koi. I don't know if you played Koi from
I have not played that.
Smirk and Laughter Games. Beautiful, beautiful game, by the way. So I was curious on this one. I know that you're a big fan of Dr. Rodney Knizia.
Yes.
Was this a game though that you were inspired by things going on in the news with Mars? The race to Mars, all these Mars games that have come out the last couple of years. Or were you looking mechanically first?
No. No, this was probably just came. I can't remember the exact origin. It was probably like what I said was I want to make another thing in the Cosmic Run universe. What can I do now?
Oh, okay.
That's probably where it started. It's like, I just had a really good Kickstarter. I like the way this game came out. People are talking about it. Seems to be good. Why not do another one? And I think Rapid Fire, the solo version of Rapid Fire, which is the roll and write, I probably should have done. I probably should have done that a little better. Still, people still like it, but I think I could have done a better job. So this one, I put a lot more effort into the solo. Because designing solo, I didn't really try to design solo. I only design solo if I feel like I can make something of it where it seems to work. And this time it really worked. But the inspiration just came really from the desire to keep the Cosmic Run family alive.
A lot of meat in a smaller game. Yeah. Does it have player interaction? Did you build that into the game?
Well, the player interaction is you're competing for the resources. Okay. So that's really all once you get your stuff, there's also you're racing to, in the way, like, for instance, Patchwork. Patchwork, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is definite player interaction in Patchwork.
Yeah, but it's a different.
What do they call it? Bradley always calls it passive aggressive, I guess.
Yeah. So no, it's very similar. Like, if I take this, you'll get that, which will allow me to do this, but then I still need to fit it on my board. So there's actually a lot of patchwork, like,
I can take A or
interaction
B
here,
but I'm going to take B, even though A may score me a point more, because A is going to score you 5 points less. I'm going to take B.
Right? No, because at the end of this game, you lose points for empty spaces.
Okay.
So you could say, like, oh, wait, this will fit perfectly on my board. But if I take this small one, you can't fit the big one on your board. So I'm going to take the small one, even though I want the bigger one for my own board.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So have you played Tiny Towns yet by Peter McPherson?
I have not.
Okay. That one also has that empty spaces are going to cost you negative points at the end of the game.
Yes.
The weird twist that Peter came up with. So have you played Karuba before?
I have played Karuba.
Karuba is one that really is just multiplayer solitaire, right? I mean,
right. Yeah.
I guess theoretically you're watching everybody else to see who's going to go into the temple. And so you're hanging out besides the temple going, okay, can I get one more gem? One more gem. Right. Then I'm going to run in before the guy gets it. Right. That's about the only interaction, because everybody just plays these flip tiles. I mean, you have no control. Peter's twist on that is that each player, and there's up to 6 players, takes turns calling out the resource that's going to be put on your board. So if you're playing a 6-player game, Doc, you only get to pick your resource once out of 6. You got to play 5 other people's choices of resources. And at the end of the game, any of the spots that you did not put a building on, negative points. So that's a way to build in player interaction without being so much take that. But have I ever looked at my wife and going, she didn't use that stone last time. I know she doesn't want any more stone. I'll choose stone. Yes, I have done that before. So is that sort of the way that you're seeing also a little bit of interaction in Cosmic Run?
Most of the interaction of Mining Colony here comes from the direct competition for the resources. And then also who's going to build. So the outposts and the science structures are not ever in the zones that you're competing for, but they are won by, like I had said, by doing certain kinds of things. So if you get 2 gems of the same color separated by 1 space, you'll win the science station of the matching color. And there's only 1 of each color. So there's essentially 7 different colored things.
We got Angela checking in. She says, hey, I'm new to board games. I love integrating mechanics and artwork, and this game pulled me in. She's really hoping you hit your funding goals so she can add her first Dr. Finn game to her collection.
Thanks, Angela. I appreciate it.
And speaking as what she said, she talked about the artwork. Doc, I noticed, and maybe you've done this before in other campaigns, and I just wasn't paying attention, but since you were on the show the last time, I kind of kept a little closer eye. It was almost like you were giving us little Easter egg treats all during the build-up for Cosmic Run Mining Colony. You were excited about the art that you saw, and you kept posting it on social media all the time.
I was.
So brag a little bit about the art. Where did the how'd you find this artist? Who is it? You know, how close did you work with the artist?
His name is Marius. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce his name because I haven't. I always have to read Janu. Let me just read it. Janusonis. Marius Janusonis.
He's a Cajun, I'm assuming.
I'm not.
No, that's a terrible joke. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I'm Cajun. I'm sorry.
All right. It's like, what are you talking about? He contacted me by email. You know, here's my gallery of work. If you look at, there's a game I think called Fleet.
Yeah.
Ever hear of that one? I believe he did the artwork for that.
That's by by Matt and Ben.
Yeah. So
the Ridback.
I'm looking right now. He's done Fleet, The Grid, and Muse Awakenings. Okay. I liked his artwork on his webpage, and I said, "Oh, this is nice." You know, I got some quotes from like 3 or 4 different artists. And I really liked a lot of his art. And so I said, I chose him, you know, just after looking at the kinds of work that he did. You know, I asked him to make it kind of dark and a little gritty. My other Cosmic Runs games are kind of lighter and more colorful. I mean, this is still very colorful, but I wanted to have a little bit more Spartan feel. Hopefully you don't think it's too brown like Carpe Diem.
No, not at all.
No. So
I can easily see all the different stuff in this game.
You know what you can't see here is the artwork is mostly on these little cards. That's where most of the Janusonis.
Yeah, that's it. He did Fleet the dice game. So if anybody checks out there,
the dice game.
Yeah, he didn't do the original Fleet. Eric Carter did Fleet. He did Fleet the dice game, which has some gorgeous art. And by the way, I haven't played it yet. It's getting a lot of rave reviews right now. I got to get my hands on a copy of that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I often get emails from illustrators, and I look at what they've done, and then I occasionally, when I want to try someone new, I tried someone new. You know, like we were talking about Beth Sobel the other day. I love working with Beth. You know, I was hoping that Waters of Nereus with her artwork was going to really help. You know, this was just another example of you should hire really good artists because that's going to be the thing that's going to get you over the edge and it's going to get, you know, but I hired what I consider to be one of the best artists in, you know, I think Beth is one of the best art illustrators in games, right?
Yeah.
You know, but I still just squeaked over the funding goal. And no blame, you know, I'm not trying to blame her for not pushing me to 50,000. But I was hoping that, like, maybe with this beautiful artwork, it would be the thing that helps one of my games. But, you know, maybe I don't know what the hell it is. Who knows?
Well, I do like
But
the art in
yeah,
cosmic mining, cosmic run mining
mining
colony.
colony.
How much
Yeah,
longer do we have on the Kickstarter?
5 days.
5 days. All right.
5 days, and I think it's like 8,000. I need like 9,000 still.
It's only 25 bucks. $7 to ship everywhere. You've solved worldwide shipping.
I
Apparently.
have not solved it though. No, because it's not duty free.
Right.
And that's the problem. I tried duty free. I really did. God, I want to help my international backers. I am trying so hard, but I was losing money because you can only make money if you can just sell a good number outside the US. So, if I'm going to get 200 backers outside the country, outside the US, I'm going to lose money. Yeah. And that's what was happening. Because I just never, the duty-free shipping never led to the amount of backers that people said it would. Because early, a lot of Kickstarters early that I didn't have duty-free shipping. And it was like, oh, try duty-free shipping. That's what's going to be the solution. I did it for 6 campaigns, and I essentially was either giving away games for free or losing money to everybody outside the US. I sent a game today to Germany, my little flower shop, in a box, little brown box, $37, first class.
No way.
Yes, it's a 2-pound game.
Wow.
$37. Now, if I'm sending in bulk, I could ship them to whatever it is, Minnesota, and then they could send them through FedEx for, 20. But people outside the United States just don't understand how much it costs to ship. It's outrageous. And I don't understand how some of these campaigns are doing it. I understand the ones that are if you're having 2,000 backers, that's what you can do. I can't do it. I've tried it. I haven't gotten 2,000 backers. So if people had done it, we can talk off
the air about what they're doing, because I can tell you exactly how they're getting around all that with 10,000 backers and no presence in any of these countries. I can tell you exactly how they're doing it. So they're just flouting it. They're just ignoring the law on that.
Right.
They just don't care. They'll figure. They're not worried about the consequences. That's all.
I follow the law.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you. 5 days left. Cosmic Run Mining Colony. Dr. Steve Finn Games. He's got another really good-looking 2-player game. It's got a lot of meat to it. If you know it,
1 to 2-player game.
1 to 2-player game.
Good solo version.
I forgot about that. It's got the solo version. 1 or 2-player game. Cosmic Run Mining Colony. It's in the same universe, but it's got different mechanics. Check it out on Kickstarter for the next 5 days. Let's get this thing funded. All right, Doc. This is a board game show, so we got to play a board game. We got to play some kind of game on here, right?
Yeah. Good.
And Angela, thank you for checking out the show. She's in Canada, and she'll pay whatever duty fee she has to get that game. So you've got a fan over there in Angela. She wants to try your game. All right. Nice to check in there, Mick. Good to talk to you. All right, here we go. I've got a couple of guys. Let me bring them in here. I've got Kevin and Steven, the name father, and Kevin Konovich. Stephen O'Rourke and Kevin Konovich are going to help us out with this one.
Hey,
say hey, guys. Hey, what's up, Steven?
Hey,
oh, there's Steve. How about Kevin?
Right.
You can call Steven.
I'm here. BJ, Steven. Very nice to see you.
All right, let me tell you how this is going to work, Doc. So the Boudin Bowl is a game where we've got 4 different categories. It's like the quarters in a football game, and every football game I know has 3 teams. So that's the way we're playing this game. We picked categories that you might be interested in, and we're each going to take turns providing our game that matches those categories. Now, it is wide open, so they may not seem obvious, and we have the chance to convince you and the jury out there with the chat crew as to which game should score a touchdown, 7 points, kick a field goal for 3 points, or fumble or throw an interception and get 0 points. Steve, you're going to be tracking the numbers, right? Yeah, I know. It's going to be me. All right, here we go. All right, Mick. Mick's ready for the game. All right, Doc, do you understand the rules? Are you ready to play?
Yes.
We're going to go through them category by category, and we'll give you the games, and then you pick touchdown, field goal, or interception. Okay. So let's start out with, how about this? The first quarter is going to be games that make you feel smart. Games that make you feel smart. All right, Kevin, you're up. Kevin's
All
going to
right.
throw us one.
So, as we're talking games that make you feel smart, in my opinion, Sidereal Confluence is the consummate negotiation game. No random chance, just your wits versus your opponents. Everyone plays an asymmetric alien race, and you're all coming together to form a joint society. And of course, you're self-interested, and every race wants the society formed with their ideals. So this game is about leveraging your race's strengths and weaknesses against the opponents. You trade resources, currency, favors, even portions of your own engine to get the most influence over this new union. The game is an exhausting exercise in efficiency, negotiation, and most importantly, outwitting and outplaying up to 8 other players. This
Big player count.
Yes, plays up to 9 people, and for a heavy Euro game, that is unheard of. When this game clicks, you feel Machiavellian, and every phase leaves you just feeling so much more clever than everyone else at the table. This game, when you get it right, it makes you feel brilliant.
Bill says you're really selling it. He's really selling it. Hey, keep the comments out of it.
I'm trying to win.
All right,
Steve, what you got? What game do you have?
Well, first thing, Kevin, tell me when you're going to bring that.
Is it easier to pronounce than Sidereal Confluence? That's all I got to know.
The hardest part about the game is the pronunciation of the name.
Kevin, do tell me when you're going to bring that to Luke's game night, all right? I'm already sick.
Play it first. I know the craft beer flows.
There you go. My game is simpler to say than that. It's just 2 words, but the game is just 1. And I think what makes that a smart game for me is it lets you feel clever on your own, but also smart as a group. If everybody takes their own unique path to the answer, you kind of all collectively feel smart for finding a way to give the maximum number of clues. But on the other hand, if clues get wiped out and you're the one trying to guess and you make the correct connection anyway, you feel extra proud of that brain power. So I think it's smart on multiple levels.
That's a good one. So
I didn't hear the name. What was the name of it?
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
It's the one where you have to, where there's a person who's guessing the clue, blind to them, shown to everybody else, and everyone writes down one word that's going to give that clue to the guesser. But if they duplicate the words, they have to erase it.
My pick for party game of last year. Yeah, no, seriously, it was my pick for party game of the year last year.
I haven't heard of it.
Really, really good game. Really good game. All right,
those are 2. You can't imagine that somebody hasn't invented before this.
No, I agree with you there. It felt like, wow, how did this game not get produced already? Let me give you mine. You ready, Doc?
I'm ready.
Imagine being an abbot of a medieval monastery competing with other abbots. Okay, wait, no, sorry. Biblios would have been a good choice there. No,
I got to play.
I'm going to play it straight. So
touchdown.
I should have gone with that one. So, no, my choice is a game I've been playing a lot lately called Otis. I don't know if you've played Otis.
Nope.
But Otis is a game. This is what I like. I love Euros that are absolutely themeless, but they try to paste on a theme desperately, right? Sort of like Aquasphere. And that's what Otis is. Otis has this amazing cover art that makes you think you're about to go on a deep sea adventure, when in reality, it's just number crunching. So what I like about Otis, though, is crunchy, juicy, delicious decisions that when you make the comboliciousness together, you feel like, wow, I put all of these things. It took me a while, but I put all of these decisions together and pulled the levers, spun the wheel, and out comes this cool event. Anytime that I can play a game, and they're mostly engine builders, but anytime I can play a game where when I flip a couple of levers together, all of a sudden something magical comes out, I don't care if I win or not. I feel clever. I feel smart. So that's Otis. That's my pick. Let's see. We got some chat crew. Bradley says just one is really fun. Bill says just played just one 2 weeks ago. It's probably the quietest party game I've ever played, but definitely clever and fun. Okay. So Steve looks like the early favorite, but let's see what Dr. Finn says.
So the category is games that make me feel smart.
Games that make you feel smart. That's right.
Of those three. All right.
Of those
Well,
three.
I'll start by saying which one fumbled.
All right.
If I can't pronounce it, I don't feel smart. So it's out. I don't even know what the name
Don't
of the
even
game
say it. Don't worry about it.
Sidereal
But
confluence.
also the other problem with that is I'm not going to feel smart in a group of 9 people playing a Euro game.
Steve, he's got the game already, name father. He already figured it out.
Oh, it's a tight one. Who's gonna? I'm gonna have to. I was originally leaning towards Steve's, but the way that BJ described it, I have to. I'm gonna give it to BJ.
Before you pick this, Steve, if you want to play a deep sea adventure game, why not just play Deep Sea Adventure?
Okay, that's good point. Good point. Yeah, deep sea adventure. Hey, we lost Steve. He'll be back in just a second. So,
I think he got upset that I picked your game.
He did.
I'll pick him next time.
We're gonna go with the next category. So that's 7 points for BJ. Kevin Konoyo, he's got 0, but Steve's got 3 points. Let's go with the second category. This is the second quarter now.
Yes.
Games that make you feel stupid. Games that make you feel stupid. So I'll go first this time, and then Kevin, you'll go second. By that time, hopefully Steve's back. In fact, here he is there. So name father, we figured you were so upset that he picked me that you actually dropped out. But I think we're having some technical problems over there, right?
I am having technical problems.
All right, we're on second quarter. I'm in the lead with 7 points for the first time in the history of the Boudin Bowl. And then Steve's got 3 points, and Kevin's got Konoyo. He's got 0. But we're on second quarter games that make you feel stupid. So I'll go with mine. And mine is a game that we've played a lot, Doc. It's called Ponzi Scheme. It's a game designed by Jesse Lee. He designed one of my favorite games from last year, The Flow of History. He has got a way of just making you feel stupid because I just can't figure out how to win this game. Ponzi Scheme is all about being the last person at the table, holding all the chips while everybody else is going bankrupt. And for some reason, no matter what I either try investing all my money, I try being conservative and not investing money. I try to ride it where I'm looking at, there's only a few green ones, so let me invest in green here. I've tried every strategy, and I always seem to go bankrupt. So this game really makes me feel stupid. Have you played Ponzi Scheme?
That's one of my favorite games.
Oh yes.
The problem is that I win it.
Here we go.
It's one of the games that makes me feel smart.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So
You're a good man, Steve.
All right, so let's go with Steve before he jumps out. Steve O'Rourke, what say you?
Yeah, I'm trying, guys. Which one? This is the one that makes you feel stupid?
Games that make you feel stupid.
All right. I'm going to go with, I think I went with Ganz Schon Clever on this because I feel stupid for playing it again each time after I feel stupid. I will do well, and I'll start to see some things that are combining well, but I always fall just short, and I end up looking back and saying, could I have done this differently? Could I have placed that there? And then I give up and start rolling dice all over again. So it's addictive. Maybe I'm stupid for continuing to play it, but it certainly does have my attention, and it definitely has a knack for making you feel like you missed the opportunity.
And that is Ganz Schon Clever, or That's So Clever, the Stronghold version here in the U.S. Have you played that one, Steve?
I have not played it.
Okay. All right, Kevin, you're up.
Would it have my chances if I changed my answer to Sidereal Confluence?
No.
All right. The game that makes me feel stupid is Illusion, because it couldn't be simpler to play. And it's that reason why I feel like an absolute fool every time I play it. All you do is you draw a card, and the card is covered in a piece of abstract art and made up of 4 colors. Each round, everyone shares a reference card that shows one of the 4 colors, and you need to place it in a timeline, pretty much from the lowest concentration of that color to the highest. And I wish it was more complicated than that, because I'd have a better excuse as why I'm terrible at it. Listen, I'm colorblind, and it's not an excuse because the red and the green are different enough for me to tell. I will look at the card, and I will be 100% sure that this has more green than that one, and it is wrong every time. I just do not know what I'm doing, and I absolutely don't know what I'm talking about. So
and that's Illusion, I think, by William Wolfgang Warsch, if I remember right. Yeah, I played it a bunch. I love it. I tend to agree with Kevin. Sometimes I feel smart because you pick it right away, and sometimes you just feel dumb. Bill says we should have picked the little pig game from Cracker Barrel.
Everyone knows that that's impossible, so it wouldn't be fair.
All right, Doc. So we lost Steve, but we'll let him know what the results are. What say you? Which of those three make you feel stupid, or would make you feel stupid?
I would actually have to go with Kevin on this one.
Ooh,
Touchdown for Kevin.
Wow. All right.
I feel like I would have a hard time with that game, whereas I already know I actually do well at Ponzi scheme. And I don't know enough about the other one, but the way that Kevin described it.
So you have not played Illusion yet?
I have not played Illusion.
I think, just based on what I know, I think you'd like it.
I might like it, but I might make me feel stupid.
It might.
We'll see.
Bradley says he hasn't played Illusion.
Games. Yeah, I don't mind games that make me feel dumb.
Bradley said he hadn't played Illusion, but for the same reason, he'd pick Hanabi. Have you played Hanabi?
I have, and I don't. Yeah, I can't. I never do well at that.
So I've played Hanabi with my family, and it's fun. But when I play it with gamers, so my family does play it very competitively. But when I play with gamers, we're staring at each other, and you feel like every move you make is so scrutinized. I feel like a dummy. That would have been a good choice.
That would have been a good choice. That would have been the touchdown.
All right, so
it's 7-7-6.
Yep. So Steve O'Rourke, the choice so far is he gave a touchdown to Kevin for the games that make you feel stupid. So which game is a field goal?
Oh, Steve's.
Oh, Steve. Okay.
Yeah. Ponzi scheme doesn't make me feel dumb at all.
Man,
I frequently win that game.
I picked the right game, but in the wrong category.
Yeah.
All right. So we got halftime. Steve, give us the scores at halftime. Steve O'Rourke.
I know it's all right. Well, go ahead, Steve.
We lost Steve again.
7-7-6. It's 7-7-6.
All right, good. All right, let's get off to the next. Man, we keep losing Steve. He's having all kind of trouble here. We may have to just give you the choices, but he'll keep trying. All right, so here we go. After halftime, so far it is BJ with 7, Kevin with 7, and Steve with 6. A really close game. Our third quarter category, Doc, is book-themed games. Appropriate for Dr. Steve Finn games, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that one game is not on the list, though.
Yes.
All right. So why don't you go, Kevin? Give us your book-themed game.
All right. Had I done more research beforehand, I would have picked something else. But let's go with my actual choice. If we're talking about games, it was pretty open-ended. It had to do something with books. So if we're talking about a game that brings a book to the tabletop, it has to be Fury of Dracula. The strength of it, it's so deeply tied to the source material, the graphic design. There's passages from the book and on the cards and in the rule book. Everything about this game just screams Dracula. Even like the most fiddly rule in the game is somehow even just a little bit based in somewhere in the Dracula mythos. No other game translates a work of literature to the tabletop like Fury of Dracula does. The rule set and time commitment is you might as well just read the entirety of Dracula during that time, but it really is such an amazing experience, and it has given me the most exhilarating victories and the most crushing defeats. It is Fury of Dracula is Dracula smeared across the tabletop. It is definitely my pick for a book. So
Kevin kind of zigged. It's book themed game, but he went with the fact that literature is based with Fury of Dracula. So we're losing the name Father. We're just gonna have to go with him posting it up here. I'll tell you what his choice is, and then he's gonna go ahead and give his reasons while we're talking about it. Sean says paperback or hardback. That was probably a pretty good choice there. And Verla says Ex Libris. Yeah, except you need to have a fun game though.
Oh.
But anyway, so all right. So
Steve's not here for Fury of Dracula talk because
here's Steve's choice. He picked Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, one of the greatest literary characters of all time, matched up with a choose your path logic puzzle. Includes a ton of characters from the stories and each mystery tells a tale you have to unravel. He debated choosing this for the game that makes you feel stupid as well. The reveal by Holmes at the end of the game is very much in the spirit of Conan Doyle's writing and makes you feel like Lestrade marveling at the great detective. I have not played Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. One of the complaints that I have heard is that you do feel stupid half the time at the end of the game whenever, Sherlock questions what you did. Bill's a big fan already. He's got Steve winning. Let me give you my choice before you decide, Doc. My choice is Firefly, the board game. And Steve said to me, wait a minute, was Firefly a book? No, but Firefly has, and I dare Kevin to argue with me, the greatest game that actually has a character named Book in it. I can't think of a better one. That's number one on everybody's list. It is the number one game with a character named Book in it. And I'm going with Firefly, the board game.
Oh, is this not the most BJ choice for any topic ever?
Sometimes you just do it for yourself. It has
one
nothing
word,
to do with winning.
Fumble.
Oh, no. Sometimes, Doc, you do this just for yourself. It has nothing to do about winning. All right, so who's got the touchdown?
Steve wins the touchdown. Kevin has the field goal this time.
Okay. Seven for Steve.
Because I'm not a fan of either game because I haven't played either game, but I am a big fan of Sherlock Holmes and mysteries. So,
Tortuga 1667 is one of the choices that Jason. Have you played that one before?
I haven't.
It actually looks like a little book.
Yeah.
Their whole company makes their games look like little books. So that was a good choice there, Jason. I did like that one. That's interesting. Mick says Robinson Crusoe. That would be a book. I have not played that yet. Have you played that one?
No.
Robinson Crusoe. All right, here we go.
But that either.
It's the fourth quarter. What are the scores now, Doc?
Oh, it was 7-7-6.
So Steve's got
Steve
13.
now has 13.
Yes.
Kevin has 10. And you have 7.
Still have 7. All right.
Right.
Yeah, I've thrown 2.
You're gonna write that down.
I had I have it right here. I had an interception
and
a fumble in my last 2 quarters. So
okay. So
not doing so well here.
Now.
Let's see.
Can it go in overtime?
Sean says BJ was offsides, 10-yard penalty, repeat third quarter. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That was a bad choice. Well, I thought it was clever. All right. So here we go. The ultimate game is our last category. Perfect for you, the ultimate gamer, right? You're a big fan of Ultimate Frisbee. So we chose a wide open topic. The fourth quarter is just called the ultimate game. And we're going to let Kevin start out to explain what he means by that.
So Ultimate Frisbee. It's a clever combination of the simple art of Frisbee with the competitive nature of modern sports. For me, Champions of Midgard shares that spirit. It is the perfect blend of a thinky Euro game and a dice-chucking thematic American game. With the worker placement is enough to keep my more intense gamer friends invested, but it's lighter weight and the chaos injected by the dice and player powers. It's enough to not only serve as an excellent gateway to worker placement, but it is also to satisfy my friends who are wanting a more thematic experience. You can spice it up with the expansions. The Valhallan economy is such an exciting layer of depth to this pretty all-encompassing game. But if you just want something basic, something easy to play, the base game is perfect. Champions of Midgard is definitely my pick for ultimate game. It has it all.
So he went with the ultimate being has it all. Let's see what the name father, Steve O'Rourke, says. He says Concordia, and of course he stole it from me because he knew I would pick Concordia. So it's a pleasant bonus. Concordia is ultimate in that it has a little bit of everything in a unified package. Deck building with the personalities that you buy, resource collection and economy, area control and how you spread influence, just enough luck in how the cards come out, set collection with the god scoring at the end. It's a midweight Euro that doesn't turn people off ready to explore the type of game. Something for everyone that is inviting and accessible to anyone, although Sean says it's a 5 out of 6, and I still think it's more than that. But Concordia is the name father's choice for ultimate game. So I'll give you mine, although Mick says Champions was a good choice there. My choice for the ultimate game, it falls on different levels, and I'm going to choose a game I hope you've played. It's a big round board. It's got a hole in the middle. And it's got pegs. Crokinole, yes. And I picked Crokinole for 2 reasons. Number one, I had never played it before until BGG. I've always wanted to play it. My family loves dexterity games. And out of all the dexterity games I've ever played in my life, and I'm talking about small-time games, not like pool or ping pong or anything, just regular games, it's the ultimate. It's got everything I want. It's got head-to-head competition. It's got partnerships with 2-on-2. There's even, I haven't played it, but there's even a 4-player free-for-all type mode that I haven't played. But I also picked it because you're an ultimate player. You must love dexterity type of games. And the discs look like little Frisbees. It's got to be perfect. Crokinole has got to be the touchdown. And I rest my case on that one. Fourth quarter, Crokinole.
Wow. You made it hard.
We're in sync.
You really sold. Now, I should show you. I should carry my computer and show you that I had a Crokinole board made, and it's hanging on my wall in the next room next to my trophies for Ultimate. So I'm going to have to go with that, BJ.
Yes!
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Only because of the interpretation, not because I think Crokinole is the ultimate game. But it does look like little discs. So you scored for that.
Yes. All right. So give us the field goal.
Concordia. It just sounded more wrapped up. Sorry,
it's
Kevin.
So good. It's so good. I can't be mad about Concordia being picked.
I've got Kevin with 10 points. I've got Steve with 16.
Yeah.
And BJ with 14. For the first time ever, I'm not in last place. It's history made here at the Boudin Bowl. Oh, I love that. We got a couple other choices out there. Jason says the McDonald's Happy Meal game. It's the New England Patriots board game. No, Jason, it's not. Even Steve said Champions was a solid choice. Bill said good game, guys. So that's the Boudin Bowl. Doc, thank you for playing. I'm very happy with your choices. But Kevin, I want to say thank you for playing. Kevin is a frequent guy from the chat crew and loved having him here. And a friend of Steve's also. So, Kevin, we'll check you later. I'll get back to Steve.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for playing. All right. And that is how we do the Boudin Bowl. All right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. I want to thank my guest, Dr. Steve Finn, who's got that awesome Kickstarter out right now, Cosmic Run Mining Colony. Doc, if they want more information about Cosmic Run Mining Colony, got 5 days left on the Kickstarter. How can they reach you? What's the best way?
They can go to my website, Dr. Finn's, spell out Doctor, D-O-C-T-O-R, and then Finn, F-I-N-N, S, drfinns.com. And you can also just go to Kickstarter and put in Cosmic Run, and Cosmic Run Mining Colony should pop up as one of the first choices.
And the name father usually puts a link right there as the producer of the show, he usually puts a link right there in the comments. So anybody can also check that out.
Yeah.
Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo. It helps us get the word out about all of our upcoming guests and shows, including this week, Doc. We have a special episode. It's normally on Tuesdays, but this Thursday, I had an open night, and Elizabeth Hargrave, the designer of Wingspan, maybe the hottest game out there on the planet, she's coming in on Thursday to explain why we haven't got our grubby little hands on that game yet. No, we're going to talk to her about the development of the game and her joy at bringing the world of birding to everybody else out there. Hey, good luck, Doc, with the project. I love the idea of your Kickstarter 2.0. I think you focusing on making good games with great art and getting back to the basics. I think that's going to be a success for you, and I hope it is.
Thanks, BJ. It's good to talk to you again.
I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo.